All right, hey everybody, it's your boy Chris. Welcome back to the Off Air Podcast. With me, as always, is John.
I do.
Yeah. What? Oh, okay. Sorry, I just got a notification on my phone. So what what are we going over from this past week?
Yeah, there's a lot from this week.
Yeah.
From game industry to film
Mm-hmm.
to just down to basically good old nature.
Yeah. Do you want to get that one out of the way first, or?
We can pop it up
can
randomly later.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see how that goes. You heard Quentin Tarantino is putting out his 9th movie.
Who? Oh, Quentin Tarantino?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh, yes, I heard the trailer dropped.
Yeah, the trailer was already out. I just watched it before it came in.
Should be a very wonderful film.
No, it looks pretty promising. It looks pretty good. Pretty good cast too, with Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Kurt Russell. You know.
I heard basically a quote from Quentin himself saying, "This is the closest I can make it to Pulp Fiction." Which is saying a lot because
saying a lot.
Everyone talks about Pulp Fiction.
Oh yeah, it's still a brilliant movie.
Even though Reservoir Dogs was his first, well, I think his first. Yes, it was his first.
Yeah.
Which was, I still haven't seen it, but I know it's a little bit better because that's where you saw his first style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I love Quentin Tarantino movies. He's also one that he's in a few that weren't really of his style, like Inglourious Basterds, for example. Not necessarily Tarantino-esque, but still a really good movie done by him nonetheless.
Kill Bill 1 was his style, but
for sure.
Kill Bill Volume 2 was a little bit out of his style.
Yeah, it was also that he was kind of just not to play down Kill Bill at all. Those are great movies.
Oh, yeah, no,
but especially with the first one, it was kind of like his rendition of Bruce Lee's Game of Death. It was kind of the same idea with a few nods to Fist of Fury. It was kind of that series is almost like a Bruce Lee tribute delivered by Quentin Tarantino and Uma Thurman, which with even that is just brilliant. Let alone the movie still being better than the sum of its parts of just that. But yeah,
because it's like you said, it's a very wonderful cast.
Yeah, of course.
And it was very well put together.
Yeah,
you actually feel like it's a real world that you're looking into.
Yeah, it's really well captured. So.
This week they just dropped the trailer for Terminator: Dark Fate.
Oh, that's right, they did do that. Yeah.
And I'm actually excited for this one Terminator this time.
Yeah, I didn't see the last one.
Don't.
Yeah, I heard bad things about it. 4 wasn't great, really. I don't think it really has been a good one since 2 and 3.
If you had a dilemma of watching,
even 3 was.
If you had the dilemma of watching Genesis or Salvation.
Mm-hmm.
I rather recommend you watch Salvation.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I heard anyway. Like I said, I didn't see Genesis, but I definitely wasn't interested in it when it came out. It just didn't look good to me.
Because here's the one thing I complained about, especially with trailers.
Yeah.
The trailer gave away the major plot twist.
Yeah,
it's like, hey, your main character is literally a Terminator. I beg your fucking pardon?
Yeah, I'm like, why?
It's like, yeah, surprise. Okay.
Yeah, it kind of just ruins the movie at that point. Like, you just kind of see the climax rather than seeing any build-up. I don't know.
I grew up on Terminator 3.
Yeah.
But I still prefer Terminator 2 Judgment Day.
Oh, of course, yeah, for sure.
Because after I saw the second one,
I gotta rewatch it. Now that you mentioned, it's been a while.
You're gonna have to rewatch it because did you see who's announced for Terminator Dark Fate?
Sarah Connor.
Well, that of course, but the producer is James Cameron again.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yep.
They brought him back.
Yep. It's awesome.
And it's been a while because
Oh, for sure.
Last time he directed one of the Terminator movies, it was.
Wasn't there some talk about there being another Avatar?
Yeah, 3 more.
3 more Avatar movies?
Yeah, that's what they're saying.
That's
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is. To say the least.
Uh,
That is a lot of money.
I mean,
Should be anyway.
Here's the thing. The one thing I believe that Avatar was so great about was in theaters, watching IMAX. It's a visually appealing movie.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Plot wise, what the hell is it?
I enjoyed the plot. What do you mean?
Well, no, like later down the road, just rewatching it.
I mean, it's weird, but
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
it's still a cohesive story.
Well, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying, just from an outside perspective, again, like stepping a little bit back. It's weird how they just left it off. It's like, all right, now we're gonna pick up with 3 more movies after. What are they gonna?
Yeah, that's true. It has been a while since that movie came out, so to just come back. I mean, they did the same thing with Star Wars, and look where we are now.
Wall Street. It had a second movie, several years later.
The Incredibles. That turned out really good.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
What else?
Yeah, so like I don't know, it's definitely a weird thing to do, like in the creative process, but with a production that big, it can make sense. That was the problem with Incredibles, is that it took a long time to actually get around to doing it, between the writing and the producing and the acting.
They just needed Disney money again.
Oh yeah, that was also the thing, but. With a project that big, I can understand why it would take so long, just to make sure that when it's released, that it's true to the original source, and it can compare. It can be within the same. It can be on par, if not better.
Right.
Hopefully, should be.
If I remember correctly, James Cameron wrote Avatar back in the 90s and wanted to film it, but he said back then there was not enough technology to actually make the movie worth it.
Right.
That's when we got Avatar back in, what was it, 2011?
When did Avatar come out anyway?
What was it? Yeah, because I remember several years ago they also re-released the director's edition.
It's been 10 years.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, there's definitely been a lot of changes in technology and in the industry to make a sequel at any point now, that quality can be higher technically. There's certainly some possibilities if the funds are there.
I mean, you saw how expensive that movie was to even make in the first place.
Oh, of course, yeah.
And
it was totally worth it.
And then now if they want to redo the same movie, well, basically the sequels with the original characters, the actors are more expensive.
Yeah, that's another thing too.
Zoe Saldana?
Yeah.
She's more expensive with the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah. I don't know. It's certainly possible. It also, lies with, how much the actors want to do it, because if they get a good enough contract, it's kind of just a given. Some actors, like, just in their creative desire, they'll always make whatever deal they can, with especially for example with like the Marvel movies, now with it's been in the position of Disney for a while now, but with that, there's a lot of different contracts that these actors can go about, and more often than not now, or at least with a lot of the new actors, such as Tom Holland is a perfect example, that they want to be doing this for as long as possible.
Yeah,
just because it's a huge opportunity, and you can definitely see the same thing if it's put in the right hands. Like if James Cameron wants to do more Avatar movies, with it being in those hands, it may just give the actors we need that edge to really desire to get back in it.
Yeah, it's just, again, with the James Cameron, it just needs time to basically develop.
Oh yeah, well, it's been plenty of time. I don't know if they've been developing it in any case. If there's been any writing or anything.
I mean, I think at this point, I hope they don't pull in like Anthem. It's like, yeah, we've been developing for 7 years.
That was a game.
It's been 7 quote unquote years in development until hey, we need a game to test. I'm sorry? They literally made the game within a year.
Yeah, when they had 7 years to do it. Yep.
This is actually a transition to something funny I read this morning.
What's that?
For Anthem.
Okay.
Officially, the player base has fully collapsed.
Really?
As in, they're estimating there's probably less than 1,000 players across all platforms.
Whoa.
Reddit,
They're all playing Apex Legends.
they're playing a game that's actually made.
It's the better game.
Well, no, I'm not saying just Apex. Probably Borderlands, which is actually
Oh yeah, that too. Of course, yeah. Well, there's a lot of other games that people can be
a lot of
playing.
looter shooters. That's what it was. And EA is still in denial, saying, "Oh no, wait, they're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix." No, it's every update they ruin the game.
It's too late.
It's
15 years too late.
it's just it shows a lot. Ever since consoles were connected to the internet, developers have been lazy. I'm not saying all developers, but some developers, like, hey,
Because they can put out the same game every year.
well, that and plus, hey, we can update it.
Oh
we'll
yeah.
throw in a patch.
Yeah, so to where the game doesn't have to be complete when it's released either.
Yeah, because I remember.
Like people are paying full price for a quarter of a game. That's gonna have patches and updates and DLC.
I remember as a kid when I got my the original first Xbox.
Yeah.
I was playing games and then it's like,
I
hey,
forgot it. Oh no, yeah, it's right there next to you.
yeah. One of the games had a second disc. I'm like, what's this? It's an expansion disc. It added bonus maps and more missions.
Yeah, that rarely existed back then.
That's where it was called an expansion. Basically,
It was a physical expansion. They
It was a
they,
physical
they would
expansion.
download into your console. Yeah.
it was like, hey, now you can do more. Sweet. And plus, it was the same price.
Yeah.
That also reminded me of the Street Fighter controversy, where basically people were going through the coding on the disc and found out there's DLC on the actual disc. But you had to pay for it to unlock it.
Oh, okay. So the code was already there. We'll just.
It's like, hey, you can buy this just to unlock it. No, it's on the disc. I paid for the disc. Why should I pay you more money for something I already own?
Yeah, the gaming industry is in a really tough place right now with with that problem in particular of people aren't really getting what they pay for anymore in comparison with what we used to.
There's a very great YouTuber called Total Biscuit.
Mm-hmm.
He was well known for commentating and then reviewing games. One of his very famous comments about gaming is basically, don't pre-order, wait until the game's out.
Yeah, I rarely pre-order. The only game I ever pre-ordered was a Nintendo game because I knew it would be finished.
The last game I actually pre-ordered was Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Before that was Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah.
Which left me very disappointed.
Yeah.
But a lot of people saying it's their favorite game. I get it. It's just
the gameplay is great. The story had its issues as well as the acting, as well as the graphics.
Yeah,
we talked about it on here before.
We did.
The ending just sucked. That was kind of what killed it for a lot of people.
You did this path. Guess what? Your ending is still the same.
Sorry, mate. Wrong path.
Sorry, there is no choice.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Hey, we're just gonna kill off the main character. I beg your pardon.
Yep. Only 4 games in. No, 5 games in.
Probably. Who knows?
No, it was 5 games. There was 1, 2, 3, Revelations, and Brotherhood.
Yeah. And then 3. What was it? But shoot. Yeah, but pre-ordering games, it's very tricky at this point.
Oh yeah, especially with shooters. I feel like those are some of the prime offenders of either the game just being a copy of the last of its previous release, or it being incomplete.
Speaking about copies, Black Ops
4.
For the company Treyarch.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Activision announced that 2020 is the last Call of Duty game.
Really?
Like, that's it.
They're finishing it officially.
Well, no, they finally figured out they can't beat the same dead horse.
I guess, yeah.
Because here's the thing with the development of Call of Duty.
Mm-hmm.
After a couple of years, they added 3 studios. Every year was a new studio game released.
Yeah.
So they had 3 years to work on the game. But again, last year was Black Ops 4. Well, this year technically.
Yeah.
Next year is going to be Infinity Ward, who created the Modern Warfare series.
Yeah, there's been quite a bit of talk about a new Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 4 coming out. I haven't seen anything official about that, but there's been quite a bit of talk about it. There was some people were talking about some leaks, but I don't think I've seen anything really official. Yeah, it's not looking like it. But I mean, I'd be open-minded to it. I don't really know where it would go based on where it ended. But
yeah, Modern Warfare 3 ended. Basically, the story got wrapped up.
Yeah,
the main guys were dead. Well,
yeah,
main bad guys and good guys.
Yeah, but they could always bring in a new villain that was based off the old one, just like how they did in the second game. That's essentially what happened. Is that you kill the main villain in the first game, and then Makarov was the new villain who you didn't even finish because you had Shepard,
which was mainly affected by the first guy.
Yeah, and it was just a whole complex thing. But yeah, they could always bring in a new villain based on a relationship they had with the previous villain, almost like a Fast and Furious movie.
Oh my god!
Am I wrong?
Oh my god!
And if they continue that cycle, then Call of Duty is going to be around for much longer. But only if Infinity War says so, in which they won't. So
really no. Yeah, like I was saying, Infinity War was next, and then they're actually skipping Sledgehammer Studios.
Oh really?
Completely, which
they're just done. Bye.
I don't know why. I mean,
I don't know.
I don't. There was.
What's my everybody? Which ones did Sledgehammer develop? Those were.
I believe it was Advanced Warfare.
Yeah.
And they also developed a little bit alongside with Modern Warfare 3.
Okay, because if I remember correctly, Advanced Warfare and Infinite Warfare, those were two of their lower selling titles.
Infinite Warfare was actually Infinity Ward.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was despised because a lot of people were burnt down to space.
Yeah.
And I'm still surprised we're even doing. Because here's the thing.
You remember Ghosts?
Oh, no.
I feel like everyone forgets that one. Well, it was terrible.
No, we don't talk about it.
You know what's Joey's favorite? Call of Duty.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry for him.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny because
I think it was one of his first ones because he didn't play. I don't think he played Modern Warfare 2, which is a favorite of many people, as well as Modern Warfare 1 and 3.
I actually went back on
Black
PC
Ops.
and beat the whole game on veteran.
Oh yeah.
Only one go.
That's another thing is that Ghost was even hard.
No.
And it was kind of just the story was bad, online was bad. You know, it was bland.
And then
there wasn't anything new about it.
Zombies mode.
Oh yeah, that was ridiculous too.
No,
it was like aliens or whatever.
Yeah, it was
it didn't
infection.
Yeah, it didn't even really look good. The pacing was bad about it. The items didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's really just a mess. There's a reason why no one really plays that game or talks about it anymore. I feel like less people play that game than World at War.
No, people play World at War.
No, they don't play World at War. They hack
War.
World at War.
Well, that and they play World at War Zombies.
Oh yeah, there's that too. But as far as playing online, no one really plays
3.
that.
That was actually before Black Ops 3 introduced custom maps again.
Oh yeah.
So everyone slowly moved in. I moved to Black Ops 3 finally.
Black Ops 3 wasn't bad. I didn't like it as much as the first two. Definitely not even close. Definitely not as much as the first one. But
here's the thing: I don't play the multiplayer. I only play the zombies.
Okay.
I used to play the single players, but none of it's coherent story anymore. Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2.
I didn't play the stories for 3 and 4. I haven't played 4 at all.
I never finished the story for Black Ops 2.
Really?
Never did.
I played it 3 times. I was kind of into it. I liked the continuation, and mostly because I wanted to see the different endings. I wanted to see it myself, so it's just like, why not? Let's play it again.
When I was playing, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of endings. I'm gonna get into it.
It was,
and then I got into the zombies with my group of friends. I never was able to touch anything else.
Oh, dude, there was a lot to do in Transit.
Yeah,
there was a lot to do in that, especially as a group. Like playing online on there was great.
How many hours I spent on the PS3?
Yeah.
I think I locked up the system once, just even during one major session.
Yeah.
It's just trying to, hey, let's do this. Maybe do this. Oh no, this doesn't work. Let's try this.
Yeah, I think I probably spent more hours playing Transit than any other zombies.
Yeah, and a lot of people are saying, how come they didn't remaster it? Because a lot of people at the beginning hated it.
Yeah, some people did dislike it only because it was like it was a weird idea because it was one open thing. You would travel from one map to the next rather than just selecting your map and just kind of getting harder and harder.
Because that map was technically small if you look at everything individually.
Yeah, you saw how they redesigned the old maps into Black Ops 4.
Yeah, I was actually playing Black Ops 3 where they remastered some of the original classic maps.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great with a remaster.
Yeah, but the spacing is weird. Like they're not exactly constructed the same way as they originally were.
No,
it's just, so walking around there is kind of weird. It's
like
not,
you get caught on stuff.
Yeah, it's not the same. I guess they try to make that more difficult, but at the same time, it just kind of ruins the fluidity of it.
Black Ops 4 when I actually played on Joey's PlayStation.
Yeah.
When I was playing the zombies.
Yeah, that's right. We did talk about that over there. Yeah.
Yeah, we were playing and I'm like, it's weird because I was playing Alcatraz, but it wasn't. It's basically a remix.
Yes, it's not shaped the same way. It looks like it, but it's not.
It's a remix.
Yeah, exactly. It's weird.
I know the ending campaign for zombies, quote unquote campaign. The final map is basically a mix match of the classic maps.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot is like, hey, you travel through a portal. Here's this version of the map. You got to Alcatraz. You got to original first map after you complete a World at War.
Yeah.
So on and so forth. It was just a lot of stitching together.
What was your first Call of Duty game anyway?
Modern Warfare 2.
I was Modern Warfare.
Actually, no, it was Modern Warfare.
Okay.
I remember
that was the only one to ever get Game of the Year.
Yeah. Because the other ones got a lot of controversy.
Yeah. Looking back now, though, everyone loves them.
Yeah. Because the first memory I have for Modern Warfare was rappelling down a wall and sneaking into a town.
Yeah.
That's the only memory I have of it when
really?
I first played.
I played it several times.
Well, I don't own it. I played it on the Xbox 360 when it came out.
All right.
But I played other games. I got hooked on Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, of course. That'll definitely take away a lot more of your time.
Grand Theft Auto 4 at the time was beautiful.
Yeah, at the time.
It still is. If you take a look at it.
It's pretty big only because it takes place in New York.
Yeah, that's the one thing I always tell everybody compared to 4 and 5. Grand Theft Auto 5 feels small, even though the map is way larger in comparison.
Oh, of course.
It's just you have vehicles that travel faster now.
Yeah, it's not just that though either. Because the map changes pretty significantly depending on which part of it you're in.
Right.
So that can change your perspective of the environment of the map itself. They. At some points, you may just feel like you're in a totally different map. You kind of forget that the whole thing was connected. That's at least how it was for me at some points first playing it. That
for me,
I guess it felt so big that I would be in one area and I would forget that the rest of the game even existed. Just being caught up in one quest or one specific part of it. Also with being able to play as different characters, you have different storylines.
Yeah. For me, I just felt it was a lot fuller back in 4.
Yeah.
Like, not in content as in basically like NPC wise.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're walking the streets of New York. You're running into people.
Mm-hmm.
You see a lot of taxis, cars.
Yeah.
Yada.
Yeah, they built that environment pretty well.
Meanwhile, in Grand Theft Auto 5, which takes place in quote unquote Los Angeles,
mm-hmm.
It's not as full.
Yeah. Everything's more spread out, and everything's small. I feel like it's mostly the environment because there's not like a large even the most urban area of GTA 5's map. It doesn't feel as dense as the one in 4 because it's LA rather than New York.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying Grand Theft Auto 4 is better.
No,
story wise,
because it's not.
mechanics wise, there's some things I can complain about, but I still prefer in 4, as in the actual shooting mechanics.
Oh, really?
When you shoot people, you actually show them. It shows them actually recoiling back from actually taking the bullet.
Yeah, the combat felt nice in 4. I feel like that was really the main other thing. Like, driving was better in 5. The characters were better in 5, in my opinion, anyway.
The story was better in 5.
For sure, yeah.
It was very addicting story.
Oh, yeah.
You were very actually connected to the character. Of course, it was actually.
Now that I think about it, I feel like 5 came out so long ago.
It was.
Wasn't it like 4 or 5 years ago now?
It is.
Jeez.
6, 7.
No, really?
Yeah.
When did it come out?
I want to say back in 13.
Probably.
What else were we gonna talk about?
What else?
Yeah.
You want to talk about Game of Thrones? Oh, it came out in 2014.
Oh.
But well, let me bring up one thing really quick. Well, let me see if I can bring up the article before I say anything. About Game of Thrones and its recent finale. Also, like, someone said, I was talking to Austin, he was saying that there's like a bonus episode that they're coming out with on this Sunday. I don't know about that. That sounds like, I don't know why they would do that. What they would do.
Was it the director saying go fuck yourself?
I don't know. Anyway, just give me 1 second.
Also, we actually have our store open.
Oh yeah, just I guess as a quick
Update.
Advertisement, some quick promotion. Yeah, the Phantastic Productions store is open. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link will be in the description. Otherwise, it's always Phantastic-Productions/store. Well, .com/Phantastic-Productions.com/store. It's fantastic with a PH, as always. Anyway, yeah, but there was some talk about. So you heard that there's a petition to remake season 8
with competent writers.
Yeah, and it already has over 1 million or like 1.5 million signatures.
Yeah.
Jackson and I signed it. I don't think it's really gonna happen. I signed it because I thought it was gonna be really funny. But also, even if it would happen, it wouldn't be enough because HBO originally wanted 2 more seasons. The series was supposed to end in the ending of season 10.
Yeah.
But D&D wanted to go. They got a deal to go write the next Star Wars. So that's what they decided to go and do. So yeah. But where was it? There's even more. Okay. Game of Thrones finale, HBO boss defends season 8 following backlash from fans. Let's check this out. Despite drawing a record number of viewers, the last 6 episodes of the show managed to divide fans, with many criticizing the writing and Daenerys Targaryen's story arc. Okay, there was a lot of issues. Okay, before I continue with anything, with all the controversy about this season and the finale and everything, the biggest issue, and George R.
Warning.
Huh?
Spoiler?
I guess spoiler warning, but literally everyone's been talking about this.
Yeah.
And I know there are some people that are still watching that are behind. I understand. I know some people are getting caught up.
The one thing that you really have to watch out is that water bottle behind Sam's leg.
Huh?
There's a water bottle behind Sam's leg.
Oh yeah, there was also one behind Davos, I think, and of course there was a coffee cup in episode 4. That
ruined the whole season. The whole season.
No.
I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, yeah, those were some details that were kind of, like, come on, it's kind of
you can
basic
see how
stuff.
rushed they were.
Yeah, but yes, that's the whole problem is that this was rushed. This was 10 years of development, just rushed through 6 episodes. It simply wasn't enough time to develop the story to where it ended up ending. The whole thing was rushed to where it doesn't feel deserved. like George R. R. Martin was talking about this himself, the author of the books, that and also the biggest issue seems that there was no payoff for all the stories that were set up in the process of this entire thing. With almost every character's arc, like it seems like the only characters that really came full circle in this season, as far as major characters that we've been keeping track of since season 1, were Sansa, Theon, and Arya in the Hound. Every other character, all the main characters, their stories don't really come full circle. I guess you can argue Tyrion. The only issue with Tyrion is that he kind of got dumb. Like he was making bad decisions, and he was always looked at as this clever character that who had power in his words and diplomacy, and he made a lot of really poor decisions in this season and season 7. Even the actor admitted it. Peter Dinklage admitted himself that that Tyrion made unwise decisions in this season, especially in the Long Night, and with trusting Cersei and there was a lot of poor decisions made by Tyrion. But nonetheless, the main issue seems that there was no payoff. There was a lot of setup. Like George R. R. Martin explained it the best way, that if you spend all this time putting clues and development saying that the butler did it, if there's all these clues pointing to the butler did it, and if at the end you scrap all that and say that the nanny did it, that ruins everything you wrote up to that point.
Because I've heard the same way he explained it. Because at the very beginning of the basically when they were writing everything,
mm-hmm.
he explained to them, "Hey, this is how the ending is gonna be."
Yeah, he told them how it's gonna end. They just rushed to it.
Yes, yeah, sure, we're gonna follow it, and then they basically scrambled it halfway through.
Yeah, completely.
They're like, "Oh, we don't want to be predictable." I beg your pardon?
Being predictable isn't the point. Is like they scrapped all of this development in order to make a twist, which none of the twists were even. There was no well-paced lead up to those twists about how Jaime and Cersei died, how the Night King was defeated, how Daenerys died, how Jon's story ended. All of those major climax points were underwhelming, to say the least.
Yeah, the one thing, well, two things I can complain about immediately,
mm-hmm.
were one, when Jaime and Cersei died.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, when Tyrion was finding their body.
Yeah.
Literally, there was an entire section that never collapsed.
Yeah.
They could have just walked over 10 feet and technically survived.
Yeah, but like I don't even want to like get into like specific details like that. Like not even just as fan talk. Like in a completely like just cold narrative perspective, an unbiased narrative perspective. Like in terms of just simple writing basics.
All right, no, but going on that, just in a way of basically when you're watching a show, you're seeing every episode flow together. He's like, all right, you're picking up where the last episode left off.
Mm-hmm.
Except episode 5 ended with Arya riding on a white horse, even though episode 6 shows her walking up to the Unsullied with no damn horse in sight.
I don't think that really matters at all.
Well, no, but what was the symbolism of the horse?
I don't know. I think the whole thing is that she was the only one. I don't know. What?
Yeah, exactly.
John, I really don't know where you're going with this.
It doesn't make sense. You're gonna show something, and then immediately next scene, you're not gonna acknowledge it.
It's just a horse.
Exactly.
I think the whole point was that Arya saw all of these people die right in front of her, and that at any point she could have, and in physics should have died, and for her and one horse to be the only survivors outside of the armies and Jon and Tyrion just really it exaggerates or it I can't find the right word right now, but it just puts more to showing her as showing her as this lone survivor, and like just it I can't get the right fucking word right now, but it just exaggerates the odds. I don't think there was even supposed to be or intended to be like any significant symbolism of the horse besides it symbolizing her, and with having it just getting her out of there, I think that was the only point of it. There's no reason why Arya has to come back with the horse just because she left on one. But like my big issue is that with all of the development throughout this entire series, like for example with Jon's story, that ever since we first see ever since Jon first saw the Night King in Hardhome, there's been several moments that are supposed to foreshadow a final battle between the two of them, and it never happened. Why did Jon come back to life? He should have come back to life for the purpose of defeating the Night King, but he didn't. So he had no purpose. He didn't become king. He didn't kill the Night King. He's not even king of the North. He just goes to live on with the free folk as a simple man, which isn't a bad ending for him, but it feels undeserved because nothing else happened in between that. There was no struggle. There was not enough struggle in Jon's story besides killing Daenerys.
I mean, at that point, anyone could...
So his whole ending feels undeserved. Right. Bran's ending also feels undeserved. He became king after literally doing nothing.
Yeah. That during that scene, Sansa could have even mentioned, I don't know, Jon was the true heir of the throne.
That wasn't going to do anything.
I know.
Grey Worm he wasn't gonna accept any. We need justice. Nothing was gonna convince him. Like I don't think it's a bad idea for Bran to be king, but it feels undeserved because he didn't do anything, and he was hyped up to have this grand power of the three-eyed raven, and it is. But in the end, what did he do? He didn't do anything. He didn't help with the plans. He didn't help in the Battle of Winterfell. He literally did nothing. The only productive thing he did in this entire season was
cause more shit.
No, the only thing I guess, but the only thing he did was tell Sansa and Arya that Jon isn't Jon. It's the only thing he did. He didn't do anything productive in the sense of trying to kill the Night King. He didn't do anything in defending it. His warg ability wasn't used at any point besides warging into some ravens that literally just flew into like some cool scenic shot, and that was it.
Yeah.
He literally did nothing, and yet he becomes king. So it feels undeserved. And the same thing applies with Jon's story. The same thing applies to Jaime's story. The same thing applies to Cersei. So, anyway, let's get back to this article about a petition calling on HBO to remake the final season was launched by one disgruntled person, and over 1 million people signed it. Casey Bloys, chief of programming at HBO, has since said that they were expecting to divide viewers. He also praised showrunners David Benioff and D.B. Wise, the writers and directors, saying the pair did a great job. It's always sad when a show departs, he told Variety. But that's part of the TV life cycle, and life moves on. But obviously, we're really proud of the show. I mean, yeah, it's sad that a show ends, but what's even more sad is that the show ends incomplete. Or not, rather, it doesn't end incomplete, but it has a rushed ending. It's one thing when a show ends and you're sad that it ended because you wish there was more, not because it was bad, but because you were so invested into it that you put so much.
It just ended with more questions than it was answered.
It's not even just that. It was the ending was this whole season was abrupt and it was poorly done. It was poorly written. Like I understand there was a lot of work put into it. The cast and crew, the acting was still impeccable. The directing was, really captivating. There was amazing visuals. There was a lot of work put into it technically, but as far as the writing, it really has ruined everything for the viewers. Or at least a good amount of us. I also said it's roughly split with some people loving it and some people disliking it. I honestly haven't heard much people liking it. Have you? I've looked on Reddit. I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube. Like I really haven't seen that much positive reviews ever since episode 4.
Actually, I've seen one person say they liked it.
Yeah, like I haven't met anyone in person. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen anyone online. Who?
The actual writers.
Of course. No, I'm talking about viewers. Like
viewers, I have heard nothing but negative.
Yeah, so like I've really only heard positive things for people that were involved in making it. Which take pride in your work, sure.
One of my favorite videos was.
But at this point, like at least take some constructive criticism. Like Jesus.
One of my favorite videos I actually saw recently was all the cast members being asked how they thought about the season 8.
A lot of the actors were also disappointed.
No,
like openly.
They're Kit Harington, who plays Jon Snow.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Hey, what do you think about in one word? How can you describe season 8?"
Disappointing. That was at least.
It was literally that's what he said.
Yeah, that was at least the first thing he said. I don't know if he was joking or not, but like
you can see his face. He was serious.
Like a lot of he wasn't the only one either. There was quite a few of them that were interviewed, and it seems like a lot of them just were really disappointed in how it was put together.
Peter Dinklage, when he was being interviewed, it looked like he had a gun to his head. He's like, yes, it's the best show ever.
Yeah, it's the other thing is that I'm sure like a lot of them were trying to defend it because they were paid.
Also, it's probably because their contract prevents them from trashing it as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they have contracts about it. I'm sure they were getting paid, and of course they don't want to. They of course they didn't want to say it was bad like before it was even released, because that's when a lot of those interviews were taken. It was before it was even released, obviously.
Right.
So they're not going to say it's bad, obviously, because they want people to watch it. They put a lot of time and effort into making that themselves, so why would they not try to hype it up? Even if you know something you did was bad, you still did your part to try to make it great. It's not the actor's fault that the writing was terrible. It's not. They still did. Yeah. They individually, the actor still did an amazing job. The crew did an amazing job. The direction was great.
It's everything went well.
But the writing ruined everything in terms of pacing, in terms of payoff, in terms of development. It really ruined everything because writing is essential. The most important story is king. No matter what you're capturing, story is king. You can have great equipment, great actors, great direction. Story is the most important thing. If you mess up the story, you mess everything up.
Yeah.
And that's basics for anyone doing anything creative. That's what they teach you in school. That's what they teach you in YouTube tutorials. Okay? This is basics. So that's where all this backlash is coming from, is that basic practices were not taken into consideration. And so the whole thing was ruined. Like, I understand that a lot of people worked hard, but what I was trying to say earlier, is I couldn't just find it now, is that and I apologize, I can't. Well, let me just bring her up then. But what's wrong with my phone right now? Okay, okay, there we go. That the actress for Sansa, come on. Sophie Turner.
There you
She said that the petition was disgraceful, and she was defending, you know, all the people that were involved in making it. And yeah, there was no disrespect to the actors and no disrespect to the cast and crew. Like, there was a lot of effort put into filming it, for sure. This is probably still one of the greatest, if not the greatest, television show ever, and definitely of the highest budget and of the highest tier, which makes it disgraceful to end it this way. Simply said. So to call this petition disgraceful, I mean, how disgraceful was it that it had to be made in the first place? It's obvious that people are disappointed in this. A lot of people are disappointed in this.
It's a very vast majority.
Like, it's not even if it was a split, like, the fact that we're talking about this just shows, like, how just to create this split, even if it is a split, which I don't think it is. I think it's a vast majority of people are disappointed. In an ending, like, it's not like this happened in the middle of it and they were gonna, you know, come back and, you know,
try to fix it.
Not even try to fix it, but, like, you know, create something that can still be great, but people can, you know, argue about it. None of this is, as far as the writing, none of this is really impressive.
Yeah,
it's a disgrace. If you want to talk about disgraces anyway.
I'm sorry, it kind of checked out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm done talking about Game of Thrones. I'm done with it.
Technically, everyone is, because it's already over.
Yeah, I know, but I really don't even want to watch anything or talk about it anymore. I can't. They are still coming out with the prequel series, but and, you know, that could be something impressive. I don't know who's gonna be involved in it. I would definitely check it out when it comes out, but in the meantime, I'm done. I'm not. It's been a long few weeks about this whole thing. That we just haven't stopped talking. We haven't stopped talking about it outside of this.
Yeah.
You bring anything else to the table for today? You want to talk about weather now?
What is that? I never heard of weather.
John, what do you have for us? You want to talk about snow in May?
Yeah, South Dakota has for why in the fuck not? Late May, they got a foot of snow.
A foot.
A foot. Meanwhile,
that's a lot.
Meanwhile, the Midwest from Iowa, not Iowa, well, probably Iowa.
Wasn't it Missouri that had a massive tornado?
Well, from basically the entire area of the Tornado Alley was fully active for the past week and still active.
Jeez.
I believe, to quote one of the articles, 53 tornadoes within 3 days.
What?
Yeah. Here's the issue with that. Seeing how they're so close together, they can't categorize anything. Because...
Oh, God.
Because how tornado categories go are not from size, not from power. Yes, they do account for, like, the instruments or whatever is used to actually measure on the ground. It's not measured the same way as hurricanes. Hurricanes are measured basically how much pressure and then how much wind is being built. Hurricanes are much larger, usually, depending on a decent size, is quarter mile to basically from Irma, which was like nearly 200 miles wide.
It's nuts.
Meanwhile, the eye wall was measuring probably 50 miles wide.
What?
Irma was pretty large.
I mean, that was a hurricane, though.
Hurricane, yes, but the tornadoes, it's very interesting because my research on my spare time, I will do research about weather.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually surprising because we had this type of weather system before over the Midwest before.
Yep.
Back in 2013, which actually killed one of the more famous tornado chasers.
Wow.
It was estimated that the category for that tornado was a EF5. It was a mile wide, and it was so large that there was actual small tornadoes on the inside.
Wow.
The major tornado. Because of that, there's a lot of flooding again in the Midwest, and it's running down basically Mississippi, Missouri. All the rivers that flow south are overflowing. There are dams that actually broke apart. There's actually a dam that got hit by runaway barges. So, yeah.
I think I was talking to Richard about this a while ago about the Mississippi River. It was one of the rivers that goes through the South. Well, from the South through the Midwest. That because of like just with retention, like with the solution that's gone about whenever dealing with the water rising, they just keep building the walls around it higher. And the water gets higher, and they build the wall higher, and it goes over and over and over again.
Yeah, that's the idea with New Orleans. Hey, New Orleans is sinking. You don't want to try to stop it? Nah, we're just gonna build a wall.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I get it. Storm surge is dangerous, but
for sure.
But it's not a storm surge. It's just a lot of rain that's been accumulated.
Mm-hmm.
Storm surge only happens with hurricanes.
Yeah.
Also, I gave you the report yesterday for the hurricane season for 2019.
That's right.
It's averaged between basically 11 to 14 hurricanes, named hurricanes this year.
Oh, wow.
But about 5 above Category 3.
That's still a lot.
Yeah.
That can be pretty... Oh, man,
what was it? They finally retired 2 names from the actual list of names.
Oh yeah, they already have like a full list of just names.
Well, they always have a full list of names.
Oh, that's right.
Every year they switch out names.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they have emergency names just in case for some reason we have a very active year.
Mm-hmm.
I know Hurricane Michael's officially retired, and Hurricane Irene.
Okay.
The one that hit North Carolina.
Right.
Those are officially retired.
I would say it's like we've heard those names before.
Yeah, but they're now permanently not like Katrina. You're not gonna hear Hurricane Katrina again.
Right.
Or Hurricane Irma or
yeah.
Hurricane Harvey.
Oh God. Or Sally.
Or Rita.
Yeah, but
Yeah, so
still a lot though, man. That's just
the South
devastating.
The South is gonna hit record temperatures for the Memorial Weekend.
Really?
Did you see the weather for this weekend?
No.
95.
Jeez, it's normally like July, and even then that's extremely, yeah.
Yesterday was like, hey, this weekend's going to it's going to be in the fucking hundreds at this point.
That's not Florida weather, hundreds. That's like desert. That's like Texas.
No, Texas is dry. Well, no, never mind. It's a little bit humid.
It gets to 112 degrees in Texas in the summer. I've been there before.
Yeah, the most I've been out was 104 and...
Yeah, it's dry heat.
Dry heat.
Yeah.
That's the difference between, like, actual humidity.
Yeah, it can still get that high. It feels different because it's dry. The air isn't heavy. Oh, yeah, I prefer the dry air.
I love dry heat.
I don't want to say I love dry heat. I don't really like heat personally.
Well, no, I hate... All right, here's the thing. I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
I retain a lot of heat.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people... I'm very, like, huggy during winter. Because I'm just burning up on the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to see, like, with it getting to, like, close to hundreds here, that's insane. It's already bad enough because of the humidity that the air is so thick that, like, it...
Let me tell you right now...
It's like you're boiling out there.
Yeah,
it's like a sauna.
Oh God, it's just burning in the car.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Right now it's 85 degrees outside, and it's basically noon. It's
80s is kind of like regular for this time of year, though.
Yeah, but it says with the humidity it's 87.
Yeah.
It's about 46% humidity.
It's an average. There's another thing though too is that like it hasn't been. Well, I guess it is still May, so we're not exactly into the season yet. But it hasn't been raining much. We've experiencing a lot of clear skies here. It's kind of unsettling to me, which I enjoy it in a way, but at the same time it's like, yo, when was the last time it rained?
Probably 2 weeks ago.
It's strange.
The
pace is very.
When you went out to California, it was just 2 days nonstop rain for no reason.
What? It doesn't rain in California.
When you went out to California, it was here in Florida.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what? Okay, I gotcha.
No, it rains in California. It's just a lot of mudslides.
Yeah. No, yeah. When it rains here, it's pretty consistent. But like, we're not at the point yet where it rains every day, and like, I feel like at this point, I feel like at this time we're normally already getting there, but there's like nothing.
It should be raining once a week.
Yeah, and
that's minimum.
Yeah, it hasn't been, which I don't necessarily mind. It makes me kind of worried about how bad it might get once it does start raining, or how it might be going for farmers right now. But it's just weird. It's unsettling. It's just not what we're used. It's not what we're used to.
No, it's not.
It's just weird.
Yeah, because I'm starting to notice my water bill starting to climb a little bit.
Yeah.
It's starting to.
Yeah, it's another thing is just availability, which like Florida doesn't really experience lack of water. It's not really a thing.
I remember. No, actually, no. There is an article I just read this morning. I forgot about it.
Really?
I-95 up in Jacksonville is fully shut down.
What?
There's a large wildfire.
Oh.
Yeah, that just reminded me. We're talking about rain and water. Yeah, it's gotten to the point where Florida's starting to have some wildfires again.
Jeez, we actually did have a wildfire too. Like what, 2 years ago?
Huh? 2 weeks ago?
2 years ago, I think it was. Was it?
Yeah, it was along some areas in Brandon, and then down south.
Well, there was one, but I'm saying there was one like 2 years ago, like right here in Hillsborough.
Yeah, I believe there was.
Like Hillsborough Avenue was shut down.
Yeah, I believe the airport was also on caution.
Yeah.
Just due to the weather quality.
Yeah. And then which that could have also just been, I kind of doubt it, but that could have been because where it was is right by Upper Sand Bay Park, and they have controlled fires to maintain the soil there. It could have been out of control. I doubt it because I know the Rangers there, but it's possible.
There's a very slim chance that it was out of control.
Yeah.
It's very slim.
Yeah. Could have just been some dry vegetation they didn't
driving through the Everglades when it was actually there was a small fire last year when I was driving down to go visit in Fort Lauderdale. It was a lot of smoke, and then basically it was weird because when I was actually driving back up home.
Yeah.
The smoke was actually covering the sun. I was actually driving through the actual long strip of the Everglades, which is an hour across.
That's what, Alligator Alley?
Alligator Alley.
Yeah.
The sun was basically, how we always see it is yellow or whatever color people describe it. It was actually a bright red, and you can see the actual outline of the sun.
Wow.
That's what I always told you.
The corona.
Yeah. That's where I always told you in California, up in the high desert, when there's wildfires. That's why the sun looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Even though it's very tragic with the wildfires, it's
yeah, you don't say.
It's even though there's disaster, sometimes there's beauty in something.
Oh, of course, yeah, certainly.
I know this year hurricane hunters are basically fueled up.
Yeah.
I believe they are just adding a new plane to their fleet.
Really?
I believe they're refurbishing one with newer equipment.
Nice.
I know they have 2 main C-130s.
Wait, what? Well, hurricane hunters, really?
Well, no, I believe they use one C-130 and then another one's a private jet.
C-130, that's massive, man.
They carry a lot of equipment.
I guess, yeah. Jeez.
You ever seen a video of them actually going into the hurricanes?
No.
There's one where they're flying into the Irma's eye wall.
Wow.
That was when Irma was at her peak.
Yeah.
I think it was 200 and something miles.
Like when it hit Puerto Rico or Miami?
Where she was peak category 5. She was
That was when she hit. That was when it hit Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
They had the worst devastation from Irma, aside from Miami.
Irma and then Maria.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I keep forgetting the name of the island that got fully wiped out.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up. Caribbean island.
I ever tell you at one time I got stuck at a. Well, it was me and my family. We were stuck in Alligator Alley.
I wasn't.
Oh, I mean, kind of hung out there for like an hour waiting for a tow truck.
Oh.
Yeah, had my DS with me. It was it was probably like 11. What you got?
What's it called? One of my favorite stories hearing from my dad was when he used to work as an actual truck driver.
Yeah. Like a semi truck driver?
As an actual semi truck driver.
Okay.
He used to drive all over the United States.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite stories I heard from him was basically hearing the reports of alligators when you're driving through Alligator Alley.
Yep.
Those are a brick wall for truck drivers.
Yeah.
They easily flip over semis when you hit them.
Really?
They can. They have a potential.
What?
Because it's basically, imagine going over a speed bump, but only on one tire.
Oh, yeah. Man.
Alright, the island of Barbuda.
Okay.
It was 1,600 people that were forced to evacuate and never came back.
Ooh.
It was annihilated by Irma, and just why not, Maria just passed over.
Jeez. And that was when hurricane hunters like actually came in?
No, hurricane hunters were going out in the Atlantic when it was she was still out there.
Oh, that's when they wanted to run through the eye wall?
Here's the thing. As soon as it's reported, they'll fly out once. I believe their furthest service station is the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And Bermuda. That's where they stop for refuel before they do the long journey out into the Atlantic.
Wow. Huh.
They basically fly all the way until basically the base can't operate anymore.
Man, I guess they are pretty excited for this season. If we're expecting around 5 Category 3s, it's crazy.
Or above.
Jesus. We can't afford to have this much disaster, man. Like there's still people recovering from
Irma.
Yeah.
Remember, the Keys were shut down for months.
Yeah.
Because most of the roads were being retested.
Yeah.
It was declared a humanitarian disaster.
It's gonna be a tough and fun summer, huh?
Did I ever tell you how fast we blew the budget for a disaster in that year?
No.
United States has basically a disaster budget. I think it was like $3 billion or something.
Okay.
We blew it within the first week of that month.
What?
We blew it because of Harvey.
Oh yeah.
We blew it through Irma, try to repair basically Florida's coast, and immediately we were trying to help with Puerto Rico's disaster because they're also one of the United States territories. And did you hear what they found over in Puerto Rico?
No.
An entire landing strip full of cases of water that they, for quote unquote, misplaced. A lot of water, like basically supplies. It was like, hey, we didn't know this was here.
Wow.
They're like, I'm sorry?
It's like just this whole.
Hey, yeah, you know what we've been asking for? Yeah, we just found it by accident. Out in the weather.
Jeez, dude, that budget is $15 billion a year.
Yeah, and we blew it.
How?
Well over.
How?
It was like 120% over.
Since 2012, combined regular and emergency disaster relief funding has tolerated just under $195 billion. Sustainably more than $15 billion a year. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Kinda.
Yeah, you know, just blow it like nothing.
That's ridiculous.
And I believe, no, the next year was the wildfires in California.
Yep.
The following year was like, all right, yeah, we.
That
blew
was
on
like
that.
just late last year.
It was insane how large those fires were.
Yeah, so like last year we spent about 7.3 billion.
Yeah. And this year we're gonna blow about 2 billion. Sorry, 200 billion.
That's crazy.
We could.
200.
We
Why?
could. Why not?
What do you mean? Why not?
Well, listen. Florida has cities that don't exist as well.
What are you talking about?
Hurricane Michael, when it hit the Panhandle.
Yeah, and you're saying, oh yeah, we'll just keep on going.
Why not? Just
Stop. I don't like your attitude, John.
I just gave up.
You just
Gave up.
I really don't like that attitude then.
Because you know what? Also, this week, no, it was last week. I forgot to mention. There was a report where basically we're already at the tipping point of no return for the CO2 production.
Yeah, it's something like we have like 2 or 3 years left before it's like.
Before it's like, hey, doesn't matter how many trees we plant, it's just over.
Yeah, the prediction is that
Like-
we're gonna be getting like massive.
It accelerated from like, hey, in 2030, now it's like you got 2 years.
Yeah, so but like by the time like within the next like couple hundred years, it'll actually just be like complete devastation.
Yeah. But hell, by the time I can drink, that's it. It's over.
I mean, we're still gonna live.
Oh yeah.
Our great grandkids, I don't know about that, but
Basically, it's gonna be like Interstellar. I gotta live farming my corn, but it turns out the corn's gonna go out and because of the blight.
yeah,
And then my kids are gonna have health issues, even though I have some health issues myself.
yeah, that could easily happen within the next 100 years or two,
Yeah.
easily at this point. It's crazy thinking about that, man. I was talking to Richard about that too. About we're also talking about like petroleum.
We're burning it faster.
Yeah, like we're actually gonna be running out sooner than we think.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
there's-
We use it for so many things. Which I mean, we're starting to finally come up with some sort of replacements and also people are just starting to buy less of it. But the rate we're going at is just unrelenting right now. There are some people trying to do something about it. There's not really enough at this moment.
I was also gonna say, even though I talk a lot about weather and then climate change, no, I'm not a tree hugger, but I'm a concerned citizen.
Yeah.
At that point.
Oh, of course, yeah.
I'm just a guy saying, hey, I got a little bit of time on my hands, but these calculations on my calculator is not matching up.
You didn't see Bill Nye recently?
Oh yeah, you know how many times people showed me that same fucking video at
Yeah,
my work?
yeah.
Like, hey, you see this? You know who Bill Nye is? I'm like,
Of course.
look at me.
Yeah.
Earth is on fire and you're fucked.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah. So basically, my bloodline is probably gonna end soon. Yours is a couple generations down, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't want to be pessimistic about it.
I'm just a realist.
We should do what we okay. I think we should at least do what we can. Maintain a positive attitude. Not that like we're irresponsible. We should take responsibility. It's just there's not enough people for it.
China was found dumping the most illegal substance you can.
What?
Basically, they were wondering why is the CO production like tripled within the past couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out China was burning a type of chemical that almost like doubles the production of CO2 out in the ocean.
What?
Yeah, and there's basically the wind maps were pointing back to the islands that are owned by China. And they're like, I'm sorry, what are you doing?
Do you think we're gonna have to tell or try to convince our kids and our grandkids in the future
China
that
bed?
no?
Oh.
Do you think we're gonna have to try to convince them that we lived at the same time as whales and tigers because they won't have them?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that?
No, I think what's gonna be harder is I was actually listening to a marine biologist
Yeah.
that studies and does research down here in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest thing that we're actually going to deal with are turtles going extinct,
Yeah.
because some turtles are actually how they're actually basically how their gender is determined when they're in the egg is if they're warm they become female, but if it's cold they're male.
Okay.
With the amount of heat basically everywhere, it's just going to cause an exponential boom of female turtles.
Whoa. What?
And the drop of male turtles is going to be insane to the point where it's an ecological disaster that they won't exist.
That's nuts.
Basically, there won't be enough males to fertilize.
Yeah,
the next
yeah,
generation.
yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, and he's saying for his research, they're trying to figure out some way on the beaches to actually cool down the eggs to actually keep the male generations alive.
Wow.
Because if not, basically any aquatic creatures are determined by heat. Their genders are determined by heat is basically going to be out the fucking window.
That's crazy. Wow, that is absolutely insane. But yeah, like, can you imagine like him having the conversation,
Hey,
talking about like, hey, you remember turtles? You remember when we had those?
yeah.
Remember when we had tigers, elephants,
Hey,
whales,
hey, Johnny.
polar bears?
Little Johnny. You see that coin, that quarter? Yeah, you see that bird on the back? I used to remember when those were real.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine it's gonna be like museums, like the Museum of
Natural history.
Natural History. That there'll be like new exhibits of the of species that became extinct within the 21st century.
Hey, how come we can't go to the beach anymore? Well, remember, Johnny, this week they're forecasting a lot of sharks. Or this week, hey, the water's toxic.
That's crazy.
Um,
You think we'll get like more or like even worse cases than red tide?
yeah, because the oxygen production levels in the water are crashing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of carbon in the water.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to basically convert it back to a lot of oxygen.
Oh, man.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
Still can't believe it happened in my generation, but the Great
Mm-hmm.
Barrier Reef?
Yeah.
Gone.
Oh, yeah.
It's gone.
Yeah.
They're trying to revive it, but it's gone.
We got a lot of work to do. It's a big mess. It's a big mess to clean up. Real big.
Alright, guys, just go out there.
Don't know if we can ever finish it.
I'm gonna go stab the water for a couple minutes. Do something.
He's got a poke, just like, come on.
Come on.
Keep the fishies alive.
I poke it. It's like, oh, I got a fish.
Oh, no.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Oh, God. Well, any lighthearted topics?
No.
Sorry, man. We got some negative vibes here talking about Game of Thrones and the environment and
This week sucks.
gaming and...
Oh,
Come on.
come on, John.
Actually, I would like to talk about one thing. And what?
You want to talk? You want to go
Yes.
first? Or, yeah.
Yep.
Go on.
Shut up. And this is news for you, too. I was talking to Pablo the other day.
Acosta?
Yes, Costa Lot has been on the show before. We were talking about a project we eventually want to tackle. We had the idea of eventually trying to start a convention or music festival of some kind, where we want to. I think we're gonna call it Block Party. It's gonna be Block Party. It's gonna be Phantastic Productions Block Party. And there's no there's no sales yet up yet. We're still in the development process of this, obviously.
It'll be $600 for VIP. Just PayPal me at this.
No.
I'm joking.
But no, I'm pretty excited for this idea and this project that we want to try to reach out to a bunch of different local artists of different mediums, a bunch of local creators, people local to Tampa and St. Pete. We're gonna see if we can rent a venue and get some small local companies to sponsor it. Say like a few record stores, coffee shops like Daddy Cool or Mojo or Blind Tiger or something. To sponsor this event. So we're going to start a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe for it to start funding the festival, and we have to look at a small venue, probably either the Ritz, the Orpheum, or State Theater in St. Pete.
The one thing we gotta look at is basically not recreating Fire Festival.
Of course, no. This is going to be something reasonably small. We're going to get a few small local artists such as Up From Here or Kosi, which also Kosi will probably be coming on the show pretty soon. I'm talking to him about a few different projects we're going to be working with. I'll be meeting with him pretty soon. Other small artists such as T. Smitty, a bunch of small artists from the Tampa area. That we want to start a festival where they can perform to get some exposure, and also it can be a festival or a convention where small creators, YouTubers can come in and set up and promote their work, as well as it can be an opportunity for selling merch. It will really just be a festival for giving exposure for new and small creators local to Tampa. And if it turns out properly, if it turns out really good, we may consider doing it again, maybe like once a year, maybe even like expanding it to like something that can be a tour. But right now we're thinking small. We're gonna try to get a small venue and get some local companies to sponsor it and get enough small creators to get involved. So we need that first, as far as like just networking with a bunch of creators that want to get involved with it in the first place before we start looking at a place to hold it, and then who can sponsor it, and then how we're going to raise money for it, which most likely going to be crowdfunding. I think that's just sustainable, aside from it coming out of my pocket or the company's pocket.
It's your pocket at this point.
Well, I am the company, so yeah, it is my pocket.
Oh, you have to sign it.
Not yet.
I beg your pardon.
But no, I am really excited for this whole idea. I think it's something that would be a huge opportunity for Phantastic Productions, as well as for, like I said, small creators and performers like Kosi and Up From Here, viewers like you, just to name a few new artists local to Tampa. I think it'd be pretty awesome. Or definitely could be, and it would be a huge advertising and marketing opportunity for companies such as like Daddy Cool, Mojo, Kingfish, these record stores and coffee shops that can eventually also sell printed works of these artists, and it can just be a really good opportunity for exposure.
It's a lot of things we're gonna have to work out down the road.
Oh yeah, of course. This is just, we literally had this idea like a few days ago, but I think it's definitely possible. It's just gonna take a lot of planning and networking for sure. So it's no rush. We don't have a date yet. So.
Speak about projects.
What's that?
I got a few up incoming soon.
With your album as well as your film?
Yeah, I'm actually announcing a film.
That's right. What, you're announcing? You're in the writing process. What are you talking about?
Well, no, I'm announcing there's a film.
Okay, it's like, geez, I didn't film the trailer yet, John. We didn't cast anyone.
I actually got a couple people in mind for casting.
Okay.
Right now the writing process is taking its time.
As it should.
I'm
Unlike
taking
some people.
I'm taking some inspiration from certain movies,
Yeah.
certain films I've already seen.
No, it's great. Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be my first little rock in the pond.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, it's just gonna be a pond of stones.
I hope so. Wish you the best. Yeah, and we're here to help wherever we can.
Yeah. What was I also gonna say? D&D.
What's up?
The new campaign came out.
Oh, okay.
There's a new campaign, the naval one.
Oh, so what? The naval was officially
Yeah, it's called
active.
Yes, it's in the book. It shows you different things about ships.
Mm-hmm.
It has a certain amount. It's like, hey, this is this one ship. This one's the other one.
Does it have pirates in it?
Yes.
Yeah. Sea monsters.
Are you kidding me?
Giant ice dragons made completely out of ice that live in the
No, that's
Arctic oceans.
That's
that
too specific.
you know that actually exists in the world of Game of Thrones, in the world of A Song of Ice and Fire. Giant ice dragons that live in the oceans of Essos.
Huh.
Essos is a crazy place, and there's some pretty cool videos about the lore of A Song of Ice and Fire, about Essos and the other lands. It's pretty cool.
Shoot, I'm trying to find the name of the campaign.
There's even there's like almost like I guess the world's version of China called Yi.
What?
It's a massive kingdom in Far East Essos, the far east of the of the world of Game of Thrones. It's a massive empire. And when I say massive, the Emperor's Palace is the size of the entire city of King's Landing.
Huh.
Let alone the entire city of E.T.
Alright, I got you the name for the campaign.
Alright, let's talk about it. Let's talk about D&D, please.
Yeah, D&D. It's called The Ghost of Saltmarsh.
Okay.
Basically, I haven't read the book yet. I'm gonna get it soon. It's basically, I believe it starts out in a small fishing village, and then from there, I'm assuming there's gonna be sea monsters you're gonna be asked to go take out, or the characters are probably gonna be pushed onto a boat saying, "Hey, you're our prisoners. You're gonna do this for us."
Okay. I am the captain now.
It's very interesting because, I believe it's actually a basically remastered version of one of the earlier campaigns again.
Oh yeah.
Most of these campaigns they're redoing are basically the classic ones. I remember the Tales of the Yawning Portal. Most of those campaigns are from the before days of D&D. I know specifically the Sun Tree, the first campaign.
Yeah.
The game was being written at the same time as that game was being made. In other news, Matt Mercer did a one-shot campaign with Stephen Colbert.
Really? Oh no, yeah, I saw that on his Instagram.
I was watching it. It was I started watching it, but I didn't have enough time to actually.
That's pretty cool though.
Stephen Colbert has the original D&D canon guide signed by the original creators.
What?
Originally, it wasn't his. He stole it from his roommate.
That's nuts, and he got it signed. That's crazy.
You know how stupid expensive those are?
That's amazing.
Yeah, because they're explaining when D&D was first coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, you went to the game shop. The guy had it. It's 2 pages stapled together.
That's crazy.
And then
just 2 pages? It's the original handbook?
Yeah. And
All
if
right.
you wanted an expansion, it was a small pamphlet.
Wow.
I found out certain classes you had to go through.
Yeah.
You basically had a multi-class to get one type of class. Like you had to be a sorcerer and then a fighter to become a bard down the road. or some crazy stuff down the road.
Wow.
It's insane how the first edition now to the fifth edition has changed.
Mm-hmm.
Technically,
For
the
sure.
fifth edition is a little bit more simplified, but the mechanics are more complex.
Okay.
Um, I'm also writing a new campaign for D&D, which I've told you guys,
Mm-hmm.
which is I'm officially calling. Well, it's basically going to take place in a place called Mega City 4.
Okay.
It's going to take a little bit of inspiration from the Judge Dredd game,
Mega City 4. That's okay.
Mega City.
And it's gonna be cyberpunk themed.
Cyberpunk theme.
It's gotta be with a name like that.
The I'm still debating the main factions. Well, I know the two main factions are going to be the police, law enforcement, and the criminal organization. I'm not going to say if there's going to be a spy in there or not.
For some reason, this is making me think of the Proto Men.
It's also inspiration from that.
I'm just hearing Light of the Night in my head just right now. Just
I'm writing a campaign while I'm just listening.
Yeah, it's great. No, I love the Proto Men. They're awesome.
God damn it, Richard.
He got me really into them.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's an awesome band.
Sorry, I'll listen.
They also have some really good Queen covers too.
It's very those guys are very talented.
Extremely, yeah.
I'm jealous.
It's really impressive. Speaking of talented, you want to talk about StarBomb? Have we talked about them lately? Their new album came out not too long ago.
Have you actually listened to it?
I haven't listened to the whole thing yet. It's Triforce, but it's a fun one.
It's a roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
You
think they're gonna go on tour again?
Probably.
Well, they didn't. Well, they went on tour with NSP. If they go on tour again, oh my god.
Do tour.
I hope so though. That'd be awesome.
No.
I saw them.
Fuck you.
It was amazing.
Fuck you.
It was awesome.
I know there's a new song for Twerp.
Oh yeah. Forgot about Twerp. Yeah, they're great too.
Yeah, NSP and Twerp are basically best friends.
Well, yeah, they toured together. It was all three of them. It was Twerp, NSP, and StarBomb. And when I say StarBomb, I mean that Aaron was just on the bus with them. But it was great. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of production that went through for this last album, the Star Force album. StarBomb Star Force. That's what it's called.
I thought it was Triforce.
No, that's the trilogy. Basically, the Triforce. No. Is it?
One of us is wrong.
Never mind, I'm wrong.
It's like I could have sworn they called this one Triforce. Yeah.
I am wrong. I am sorry.
It's okay.
That's it. I don't have to be here.
Yeah, the Triforce. Planetary Jam Squadron. Yeah.
They talk about the hardest fucking game.
It's awesome.
They made fun of Mario Party.
Yep.
What was the other ones?
I wish I could have gotten their collector's edition vinyl and all of that. That would have been awesome.
Have you heard of the Donkey Kong song?
No.
Oh god. They also talk about Dream Daddy.
I heard about that. Yeah.
Now we owe them 10 cents.
Wait, what? Oh, because of royal. We're not playing it. We don't owe them anything.
No. If you listen to the song, it explains every time you say the word Dream Daddy.
Oh.
They earn 10 cents.
Don't say it again. No.
Say what?
Right. It's like Bloody Mary or like Candyman. You can't say it again. That's awesome though.
My favorite one so far was it's called Vegeta Serenade.
Okay.
It's basically him trying to write a song for his wedding. But he keeps talking about Goku in his song.
Oh yeah. Oh
like,
no.
What are you doing? You're writing a romantic song, but you just keep talking about Goku.
Keep talking about Kakarot. No. Oh god.
Ooh. It's a fun album.
Yeah. I definitely recommend StarBomb, the Triforce. It's great. Check it out if you haven't already. Or just watch Game Grumps. Like, come on.
How about you just...
What have they been playing lately anyway?
They've been playing some games.
I haven't been playing enough lately. I've been slacking on my streams and all my stuff. We're still doing this every week, though. That's great. I don't know. There's been a lot going on with Phantastic Productions lately. We just opened the store. Again, link is in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. But we just opened the store. I just got the trademark. There's been all these things going on, as well as we assigned a bunch of affiliate programs. What's up? What's so funny, John?
Sorry, I just got a notification for.
What did you just send me?
For
Why? What is this? Straw? What?
It's a portable straw.
Straw to go. Why?
There's a fantastic Instagram profile called Unnecessary Inventions.
Yeah.
And,
I like the idea of bringing your own straw, especially if it's a bent straw. But you don't need a case for it.
You don't want to bend it.
It's already bent. What do you mean?
You don't want to screw up like the bendy part.
It's metal. What?
It's unnecessary, Chris.
This is the most ridiculous thing. But the guy that runs it is an actual like entrepreneur. Yeah, let me go to his thing real quick.
He makes travel gear.
Yeah.
For basically whatever you see at the airport, like, hey, I need a battery.
Matty Benedetto.
Yeah. He makes like stupid amount of money.
Does he really?
Yeah, because
Good for him.
he sells it to airports.
What is this? Oh no! What did he? What was this one? I don't remember this one.
Which one was?
Necessary Inventions 10, the 4Q. Wait, oh, it's a fork that you put sauces in.
Oh, I specifically did not send you that one.
That's really bad.
Yeah.
This not even like sure it's unnecessary, but it's also like, oh god, this looks disgusting.
I believe my favorite one was the avocado in a tube.
Oh my god. It's like a deodorant tube. It doesn't even look right. Like, oh
it's
no.
It's not supposed to be there.
Avocado on a stick.
It's
no.
It's like the Reddit where it's like...
Every millennial loves avocado toast. Now make your favorite snack faster than ever. At home or on the go. On a stick.
Stop that.
This video is sponsored by... No, it's not.
No, it's not.
I wish. Are you kidding me?
Shitting me?
I would love that. That'd be amazing.
I'll do it for free. Fuck.
Well, I guess we are doing it right now for free. We're promoting his stuff.
We'll promote anything.
No, we won't. We won't. We have standards.
Yes, boss.
Oh man. Did you bring anything else to the table for us today? From this week?
SpaceX launched their satellites.
Right.
It's called Starlink.
Did we talk about this last week?
We did not. I forgot.
Really?
I mentioned to you the day before or last week on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Starlink is a project SpaceX has been thinking of to provide low orbit satellites to provide wireless internet access anywhere.
Yeah.
Seeing their price structure is ridiculous. How much they're charging for how much data you're able to get.
Yeah.
Is like stupid. In the long run, stupid cheap for the amount of data you can waste.
That's nuts. But yeah, I want to save money on data. That'd be great.
Give me a second. I'm trying to pull it up.
Just have SpaceX pay for it. Be awesome.
Can you like keep it going?
Keep it going?
Yeah.
Just
talking.
Just talking. Just saying stuff, saying things, as we do on a podcast. Just continuing the conversation, but one person is searching and not talking at all.
Yeah. All right, I can't find the pricing.
Great, thank you. Thank you for the time.
I do know how much the actual project cost.
Really?
10 billion.
Wow.
And that's just the first satellite.
Wow. How many of these do they want to
Well, so far,
launch?
the first, it's not one satellite. It's the first launch had 60 small satellites that spread out after a while.
Okay.
I believe they're going to do it a couple times until it's a consistent data stream. I believe this is the first test run before we actually start sending satellites up to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
So we can provide a constant link between Earth and Mars.
Earth.
Earth.
Oh man, have you heard Tyler the Creator's new album?
Earth?
No, Igor, but there is a song called Earthquake.
I have not.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. I'm into it. I haven't listened to it enough lately to give it my full analysis. But some of it does remind me quite a bit of Flower Boy. Well, you know, he does a lot more singing on this record than he did, say, like on a Golf or Goblin. It's a good one. So at least from what I've listened to so far, it's a little bit more melodic, but it's still, you know, goofy, just like how Tyler the Creator is. While some of it still being, you know, really heavy and emotional. Wherever he likes to be. It's yeah, it's a fun one. It's a roller coaster. Yeah, I love Tyler the Creator. You know, he has his own. He has a new show now, Nuts and Bolts.
Oh.
You can watch full episodes on YouTube. Actually, yeah, where he's it reminds me a lot of Loiter Squad because he still has all those guys he hangs out with, like Taco and Jasper and all them. But it's mostly just him, and he goes about all these different creations. So you they record him at his house, which by the way looks awesome. Like his room is like a massive kid's room that he like designs everything himself. There's one episode where he designs like a bed because he had sleeping problems. So he designed a bed that was also like a lounge where he could like put all of his records and books and stuff. He did one episode where he designed a new breakfast food.
What?
He invented breakfast sushi.
I'm listening.
So basically, he would take like a small waffle stick,
All right.
deep fried, and thrown in powdered sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Put a little sausage link on it, and a slice of bacon. And you wrap it in a scrambled egg ribbon, and you dip it into a maple syrup that he had made himself. He actually went to a maple syrup factory where they make it all organically. They collect the sap from trees they have there on site, and he went through the whole, like you can watch the episode where he like went through the whole process of like visiting them, and he had a custom maple syrup made. It's like a cinnamon and mint maple syrup, and yeah, he would take the sushi and dip it in. He got a lot of good reviews on this food, on this breakfast food he invented. Also, he made he would take butter and colored it green so it looks like wasabi. It was awesome, and that's just one episode. He was the one where he designed his own shoe. Yeah, Nuts and Bolts. It's a new show from Tyler the Creator. It's pretty interesting. It's also just fun seeing him goof off with those guys, but also like actually seriously create something.
I mean, it's something
It's like a cool combination of like how it's made with Loiter Squad, but also Tyler the Creator's being Tyler the Creator, like being creative in his weird and unique way. They also did like a short stop motion film, claymation.
Speaking about shows,
yeah.
This is a throwback for when we were back in high school.
Yeah.
The movie Chef.
That's right. Yeah, they're gonna have a new show on Netflix.
Like it's an actual show.
Yeah.
Like,
with some of the original actors.
John Ferraro.
Yeah.
Am I even pronouncing his name right?
I don't know, if I'm being totally honest with you.
John F.
Happy. It's Happy's show.
In
You know your dad liked cheeseburgers.
You stopped that. I haven't stopped crying at that scene.
Me neither.
I know.
I need to watch it again though.
In the trailer, automatically it shows. Yes, they're gonna be cooking, experimenting.
Yeah.
With actual celebrities.
It's awesome.
Like, I know Tom Holland was already in there. I probably, if I'm seeing it correctly, I'm probably talking out of my ass, but Dante Bisco.
Really?
If I saw it, or
who else? Binging with Babish, Sean Evans.
You know what?
That'd be oddly specific, but that'd be pretty cool to see internet celebrities on there.
Well, here's the thing: they're actual chefs.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Well, Babish is.
Yeah.
It's not his real name, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Andrew Ray.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. He's a real chef. Or at least I don't know.
I don't think he's certified. But
well, no, he doesn't have any certifications. He said before that he learned everything he knows through the internet. But he
knows what
basically, yeah, he is a very effective and creative culinary artist. I love Binging with Babish. It's awesome. I like to watch it all the time.
I believe my one of my favorite episodes is when he's cooking a actual Cuban.
Oh yeah.
Like from the movie Chef.
Yeah.
He's like, well, of course I could go to the store and buy already pre-roasted pork thighs.
Yeah. No, that's the best thing is he makes everything from scratch.
I'm like, screw it. I'm gonna learn how to make it.
Yeah, he learns. He's learned like every possible. It's amazing.
Here's the thing: the Spanish recipes, he's got them spot on.
Oh yeah, same thing with quite a few of the Asian recipes too. It's really impressive. Like, man, this white guy can cook. Like,
yeah, this man can handle his heat. And again,
it's awesome. It's really impressive.
Again, with the recent episodes, when he went to go get pufferfish.
Oh wow, yeah. One of my favorite ones though that they made a while back was Homer Simpson's moon waffles.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. I gotta try his version of it, not Homer's actual one, because that's like just disgusting. It's literally a burnt waffle wrapped in, like that wraps a stick of butter. But his take on it looked pretty amazing. The only thing is you need to throw away a pan for it.
I know one recipe I really want to try, but it's gonna take me forever just to even cook it. It's called a timpano. I forgot what movie it was from, but it's basically, how to describe it, it's basically it's a giant pot outlined with pasta. Inside they toss in what's called hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
Some tomato sauce, some sausages. It's just it's almost like a giant lasagna. Yeah. But it's wrapped around itself.
Wow.
The best way I can describe it is when it's done, it's the size of a cake. It's like yay big.
Wow. There's a recipe I've been meaning to work on. I just bread pudding recipe I need to make pretty soon.
I would do it, but I'm not very confident of making pasta.
Yeah. Really?
I really never made one.
You never made pasta?
Never have.
Huh.
And I'm too scared of, like, am I gonna get salmonella or am I?
No.
Like,
what?
Is it gonna fall apart?
You just gotta try it out, dude. It's really not that difficult at all.
Yeah, it's one of his basics.
Yeah, man. Man, this is getting me really hungry. We're actually doing pretty good time right now. Let's see where we're at actually. I know it's been over an hour already, so.
You're an hour.
Wow, yeah, whoa, we've been talking for an hour and 43. Okay,
nice.
That's I think it's record time now. The way we've been going about this.
All right, let's wrap it up.
I'm starving. Okay, well,
wrap it up. I don't want to see your face.
Nonetheless, thank you all so much for watching. As always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitch and on our social media platform that are always in the description. John does have his Twitter back, so you can follow him on Twitter.
I I'll be talking out of my ass on there as well.
Yeah. Also, he predicted Fallout 76 on there. He didn't predict it'll be a terrible game. But anyway.
I predicted that the game was gonna exist.
Yeah, but he didn't predict it'll be terrible.
Actually,
Anyway.
no, I did. Actually, I did.
Sure you did.
No, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be probably like Skyrim Online.
It's pretty bad. Anyway, yeah, thank you so much for watching. And we do have our campaign going on. We need to get Matt Mercer onto the show, as well as Vin Diesel and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And
You stop that right there.
But anyway, we will have guests coming on the show pretty soon. Most likely Kosey, as well as some of our personal friends. And the Phantastic store is open. Be sure to check that out. Check out our merch. But we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
I have no idea what I'm going to make.